The vibe, for my 45, don't get out of line. Yeah. Ooh, pick a side. Only double lines we cross with dollar signs. Yeah. Ooh, hold up, wait. I hear you just got paid, make it rain. Energy, she more cake on heat, more central pay. Be waving the room, the crowd gon' move.
Everybody on mute.
Damn, just me and my crew.
Take me back.
What's up, y'all? We are back. We missed y'all. And we have a lot to talk about, but we're going to be more specific today. We're not going to hit on everything today. So much has been going on with Potomac all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about some really hot topics with Potomac. But before we do that, as Black women, we got to talk about this tournament that just happened.
Yes.
And give credit where credit is due on the winning team.
The undefeated.
We can say
undefeated season.
Undefeated. Okay? Undefeated season. This is not their first time winning. Let's talk about it.
It's their third.
They have been proven as winners.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to just highlight them for a minute and give them their flowers because the media has been kind of trash with giving them as winners their flowers. So we're going to give them their flowers. We're going to give the coach her flowers.
Yes, Dawn.
And I'm going to open it up for Mandy and Shay to lead us in this sports segment.
Well, I feel like one of the first things we need to say is like in the last, was it 2 years or 3 years? Their record is something like 100 and something to 3.
And 3. They've lost 3 games in the last 3 years?
Yeah, it's either 2 or 3 years.
This is just
it's unheard of. It's unheard of in sports in general, but especially in women's sports. This year, the ratings have showed that people care way more about the women's tournament than they did about the men's. Like I think the viewership for the women's was like almost double the men.
It was 4 million more.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just because you had so many storylines, even before you got to the finals, when it was what's Bayou Barbie's real name?
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese. Angel Reese versus Caitlyn, and even how that ended with the questionable moving screen, but we're not going to go there because I believe wrestling should be a sport. So you had that, and then you had Iowa going against South Carolina, who last year Iowa knocked South Carolina out in the Final Four. So it's like a revenge game, like who's going to win. And like at the beginning of the game, like the first quarter,
they went crazy.
South Carolina was down. They were down like 10 points, and I was like, Dawn,
they were shooting them.
What we doing?
But Dawn was so cool and collected. She was just like, y'all. She said, just calm down. Play y'all game. Calm down.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet that was like, Dawn Cole, because she don't even call timeout. She just stir at you like your mama.
Yeah.
She do.
Yeah.
She didn't call now.
Like, y'all know better. Y'all know better.
Yeah. Y'all know.
Yes. Like, don't play with me. You better get it together.
She's known for being like super even keeled. And so I've loved Dawn all the way back. I guess it was 2 years ago. I watched this documentary on her and the women's Olympic team.
The
WNBA. Talking about them and Cheryl Swoops and all these other people. And it was so good. And so from then it's like, oh, Dawn, I love you. Like,
so let's talk about that because she was a player too. She was
a player. She was
that girl. She was that girl.
She was an amazing player. She's an Olympian, a gold Olympian. She
won
has
player of the year twice in high school.
Player of the year. And let's talk about it. She's like 5'6", 5'7".
She's little.
She ain't tall. You know what I'm saying? Like she's an average size woman, but she is killing it she killed it on the court. She's killing it as a coach. She's getting top recruits. I mean, the conversation about South Carolina versus Iowa was simply this, that they got a starting 5 and then they got a starting 5 on the bench.
They did.
Where Iowa just had a starting 5. Like at the end of the game,
so
South Carolina's bench has scored like 30 something points and Iowa scored 0. They bench scored 0 points.
When I say they locked that girl down from Iowa. When I say
the Raven Johnson. So let's talk about Raven because she deserves.
She's a freshman, right?
Yeah. No, Raven's like a junior. She's a junior. Raven's a junior or a sophomore because the big thing was this year. This was Raven's revenge tour because last year she's a point guard, but like nobody respected her shot. And in the game that they lost to Iowa, Caitlin Clark literally waved her off like, "Oh, she not finna shoot the ball."
She did.
Like she literally waved her off, disrespected her. Like, girl, ain't nobody worried about you trying to shoot the ball. So this year, Raven's like,
got you.
Okay, revenge, and she locked that girl up.
She did.
I
mean, Caitlin got her points.
When she stole that ball right before halftime, I said, "Yep, the tide has turned." That was the moment when I said, "These girls finna win." Like they were just destined to win, and the freshmen is what
balling.
made the difference.
They were
Malaysia Fulwiley and Tessa Johnson.
They were balling.
Them 2 freshmen came out, like they said, like there's a starting 5, and then there's another starting 5 on the bench. Those little girls can go to any other school and be a starter the full year. But they bought in.
And one of the things too, so the starting 5 from last year all either graduated or WNBA. Transferred or whatever. So this is a whole new.
She lost 5 girls to the WNBA. 5.
Starting 5. What her starting 5?
Yes, all of
the whole starting 5.
WNBA. All of them.
Yeah, she's that girl. I love Dawn.
Dawn is that girl. So Dawn, here's your flowers. I literally just like, listen, I'm not even a girl that really watches women's basketball like that. But when I tell y'all compared to the men's game,
the men's is so boring.
It was so much more exciting. Like I was really into the game.
He should have did women's brackets. We was tripping.
I did a women's bracket.
I did one for my job. I did one for my job.
I did one for the group.
Next year we only do women's. Forget the dudes.
But you know what I learned, and I'm talking to Ramon about this. The difference between college basketball for women and men. Women have to stay in college. They have to stay in college for 4 years, or they have to be like 22 or something to go to the league. So you have these built storylines of like history and like, they played last year and the year before. Like it's so much history. It's easier for you to buy in to watching women because they've been playing for 4 years than most men. If they're good, they want it done. Like they go to school and they be done. Like it's no storyline to build up. I don't even know nobody's name on the men's side. Like I just don't.
Women's basketball also, you have to think about talent level. When you've been in school for 3-4 years, the talent level is ridiculous by the time you get to the WNBA, because by the time you get to the WNBA, everybody can hoop, everybody can ball, everybody can do
44 girls or something like that out of the whole world.
It's only half. So out of the NBA, it's cut that in half. The teams cut the teams in half, and that's the WNBA. So the talent pool is like this. So you really got to be cold coming in. If you ain't cold coming in, you gonna get ate up. I'm excited to see, watch the WNBA from a previous sports. I used to play ball back in the day when I was younger.
Jasmine was a baller.
I used to hoop, and this has actually rejuvenated my liking of basketball, because for a while I could not watch it, women or men. I was just over it. But now watching this is like, dang, now I see why I loved it. Now I remember why.
So do you feel it's different? Do you feel like the game for women, like what are like some differences you see? Like is the 3-point shot more like
100% elevated? Everything is elevated now. Like the talent pool is better. Girls can really hoop. Like you can legit hoop now. There used to be a difference between men and women. They're like, oh, men can beat women. Now I don't know. Especially these dudes coming to NBA now, they're not even as good as these girls are. Like, let's be honest.
Can I say what's really making me watch?
What?
The girls are starting to look like girls.
They cute. They so cute.
Let's talk about these fire wigs these girls had.
These lace fronts with the
let's talk about these eyelashes.
Lashes
that
all
was
done.
was giving it. Let's talk about the
Well,
makeup.
I would
that was
have to
going
give
in.
credit to my girl Skylar Diggins. She's the one that
Absolutely.
kind of
She was cute.
introduced kids to basketball.
Mhm.
Because before that, I'm not gonna lie, who
It
I
was
looked up
no-
to, they was giving energy.
Yeah.
And listen, we're not saying there's anything wrong
There's
with
nothing
that.
wrong with it.
Nothing
What
wrong
we
with
are
it.
for me as a
But
girl
it
who
makes
loves
men want to watch
fashion,
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at some of these girls. I'm like, first of all, body. Let's talk about some of
Yeah.
these bodies.
Yeah. Angel Reese.
Let's talk about these
She did
bodies.
Swimsuit Illustrated,
like,
baby.
Yes.
She did
okay,
Sports
y'all.
Illustrated.
But I just think, I think girls basketball for a while had a very masculine
feel
to it. And I think now you have these girls walking in like, I'm cute. And I ain't gonna lie, when I was younger,
bringing the femininity back into
when I was playing, my coaches, nails playing, they would go off on you.
Yeah.
If your eyebrows like you, like what you were it would be a whole thing. Like you supposed to be masculine. So to see them like bringing in the femininity, I'm here for it. And
I don't know how these girls playing in the wigs. Like,
girl,
got to be good. Definitely ain't.
I don't even work out I couldn't even work out in a wig when I was
sweating
bullets. Lajay, Angel Reese, Camilla Cardoza. I mean, full lace front. I mean, like full.
My girl Flo J she do be wearing her headband on.
Headband tied down. Yeah, it be on the edges.
My lace is not gonna come up.
Because after the game, they take it off and be cute. Curly bundles. Like
these very smart. Girls are giving me, and let's talk about some of the braids that I seen.
I mean,
the braids are fire.
Yeah.
I'm like, listen, I'm looking at y'all real different. And I think for the longest, to your point, Jasmine, I felt like a lot of the women going into basketball felt like that they had to be more masculine to get visibility. Where now we're seeing these younger girls that are like, I'm not doing all of that. And I'm
like,
still show you I can
play like girls.
Like
I say,
so good. And when I say Skylar Diggins, you remember like around the time she came in with all the Drakes and all of them was looking at her. So it's like, you got all eyes on them now. So they're like, all these rappers want to be with us. We can't be looking any kind of way.
Yeah. So, and now they all are like,
I love this for
I just love the energy. And I feel like, okay, my advertising brain, my marketing brain, where are the beauty campaigns? Ladies, like
that's next.
Right.
It's coming.
Like, what are we doing? In vogue, honey. We coming.
Like, these women are literally showing you like, I want to know what wig glue you using. I want to know what edge control you using. Like, who do your lashes?
Sport-wise, like, as a Black female, Mandy, you're on to something. We have been trying to figure out what can we do with our hair and work out.
Y'all are out here.
They need to come out with some lines.
Bundles. Like,
we got to be. It can't be got to be glue, but it got to be something to hold it down.
It can't be because these girls are out here like straight hooping and lace fronts and nails and. I like even
it's the lashes for me.
The white girls be having the lashes.
Yes, and I'm like for all races, they are wearing these lashes, and I'm like, I don't even wear lashes. Let me go get my lashes done.
Cute, man.
Because what is happening?
And they still like, and they just hoop it. I think that's the thing too. It's like the level of just, I don't know, greatness. Hey, I'm gonna get a little sad because I know Kobe right now.
Oh, this is his dream.
Oh, with his
daughter. This is his dream.
But this was his dream.
Well,
he been campaigning.
His daughter was gonna be at UConn this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like this, it hits me to see women's sports like blow up like this, and knowing that this is what he.
This was.
I did get emotional this season.
It's emotional. Well, and even if we think back to this year's NBA, the NBA All-Star, the 3-point contest with Steph versus Sabrina Ionescu, who was very close with Kobe. She spoke at his service. Like I mean, she's very close with Vanessa.
He would have lived in this.
He would have loved that. And so they're saying next year for a marketing thing for both leagues that it could be like Steph and Clay versus Sabrina and Caitlin.
And Caitlin, because them girls be shooting
3-point shootout.
I'll be honest with you. The All-Star weekend could use some women energy. Absolutely. It's so boring now. It's so
I think this year when they did that, the difference in 3-point contest, like it really brought something because you're really like rooting for her. Like I mean, I love Steph as a Warriors fan, but I'm still rooting for her.
She beat most of them dudes that like qualified for the finals. Like she was tied or beat them. Like
in All-Star history, she scored the most points ever prior to this year, prior to Steph this year. But she had scored the most points.
Steph said, "Oh no." Wait,
but he still barely beat her. He barely beat her.
He did.
I just
feel like women's sports is just like I'm inspired because I was definitely like growing up. I was the mama from loving basketball. Like Monica, go put on a dress. Like, what are we doing? Why are we trying to hoop a dress? Like, I was very much Alfred Woodard. Like, no, ma'am. What are we doing, Monica? Like, I was. That was
cheerleader, sis. Cheerleader. Let's go.
I was very much Alfred Woodard. Like Monica,
y'all
baby.
Nuts.
Oh my God, what are we doing? You want to hoop a cue? Like, no. But now I'm like, yeah, my daughter, she can hoop. We can do this. We can make this. NIL too, I feel like makes a big difference.
Game changer.
Because these women got more followers than the men.
Yep.
They
rapping.
Angel Reese got like almost 3 million followers on Instagram. Like these,
I need to follow her.
She announced her WNBA. Like, I'm gonna leave college and go to the in a Vogue magazine. Like,
think about what that did for WNBA. Like, come on.
Vogue. That's how you announce you entering the draft.
We are in a new era for women's sports, and let this be the renaissance. Like, we are literally seeing the renaissance.
It is.
I'm there.
I cannot. I'm so excited for it.
I will say, I have to give a shout out, a pioneer shout out to my girl, June Ambrose. She's seen this coming. If you remember, she had a collection with the WNBA a year or two ago with Puma. And I feel like she's seen it coming. I went and seen her speak. What was it, last year? I went to Detroit at the Black Footwear Forum, and she was there. She was a keynote speaker, and she was basically saying, "Oh, the Renaissance is coming." She was saying, "The Renaissance is coming." If you know any girl basketball players, if you know anything, get your whatever you got product.
Get on now.
They're because they need it. They like brands wasn't even checking for them, so this is the perfect time to jump on it. So I will have to give a shout out to my girl June Ambrose for being a pioneer and seeing the Renaissance.
It's here.
Yep, we're here.
Even today, the WNBA announced that. So Caitlin Clark is supposed to go number 1 in the draft. She's going.
We know that. And I will say this, and well deserved.
Yes,
I'm not going to also hate on her because it's not her fault that the stories have turned to.
So what I'm saying is,
hoop.
What I'm saying is, we're already in the Renaissance because they just announced that they're going to be showcasing 36 of their 38 games on primetime television.
Amazing.
Like,
it only takes one. Like, come on,
Aces, they're showcasing the Aces is 35 games. Indiana Fever's 38 games, and I believe the New York Liberty is like 30 something games.
Well, and so Dawn said that in her speech at the end when they were getting their trophies and all this stuff. She said she thanked Caitlin for putting eyes on their league. And saying that she's going to put even more eyes on the WNBA. So, you know.
If that girl get all them girls in the WNBA raises, I mean, what can you say? Like,
so that's the only thing that I'm not worried about, which I know money's going to come.
It's coming. It's coming.
But I
when
think
viewership comes money, they can't pay them for something that they're not getting viewership for.
I think
it's going to take a minute. It's gonna take a minute.
Like, I just learned because I was looking at, like, we have a WNBA team here, the Atlanta Dream. I'm like, okay, they play where the Hawks play. I didn't even know they played a whole different arena.
They got their own situation.
I didn't even know, and I'm like,
I think it's raggedy though, but
it is. But they used to play where the Hawks play, but they were losing too much money.
Well, because the seats ain't filling. They open it. All these people they have to hire for that event.
But now, like, and I was looking. Tickets, like, it is the Caitlin Clark effect. Like, the tickets used to be $25, baby. They already they getting up there.
Do they know where she's going? Because you know they already got who going where.
Indiana Fever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so here's the interesting thing too. So her and Aaliyah Boston are gonna be on the same team.
Interesting.
And she took Aaliyah Boston played for South Carolina, and last year was her senior year when they lost to Iowa. Interesting.
And she also did some commentating as well. So that's something we didn't talk about, and we can talk about that real quick.
They need a show. I need them to have a show.
A TNT version with women though.
Yeah, ESPN did all the commentating. So they had my girl Elle Duncan, Chanae, who does she still play for the Sparks? I don't know if she still plays for the Sparks, but she's a WNBA player. Andrea and Aaliyah Boston. Was that the 4?
It was.
I think that was the 4. And they gave so much analysis. I mean, it was so good. And then all of them are Black. And so it was like just Black excellence.
You know what?
Like,
I really
just
love
Black
this for y'all.
Black women.
I love this for y'all. I love this for y'all. Y'all
like
Jasmine,
because I used to come to your games, but I didn't know what was going on. Okay.
Yes.
For y'all.
I didn't know there was positions in basketball. Like I was so confused. I just thought everybody get the ball and shoot it. You know, I didn't have a clue.
Jasmine, don't start. We're not going to do this. You're not going to do this to us. We know you was a ball player. We know.
She's a point guard. She's a shooting guard. She a legal screen. I was like, like I'm
it
here.
Was good. And then they even got like some marketing stuff now, like the shirts that say everybody watches women's sports. It's become like a thing. And like they sell these sweatshirts now. Man. It's like
also, I also want to say, you know, Portland is just known for just being really liberal and just the first to do a lot of things. But we actually have our first ever sports bar that only shows women's sports, and it's geared towards just women everything, and it's a women's sports bar.
We should host a podcast out of there. That'd be dope.
I know, and it's so dope. When I tell y'all, it's so dope. Like it's all only women's sports being shown.
That would be cool if we did a podcast.
You know what I also thought about, Jasmine? I'm a little scared for the girls too, because I didn't realize how close the WNBA season is. It starts next month. Like they're getting drafted on Monday, and
but
like
that's good
the
for
WNBA
them.
starts like
but
next
that's
month.
Good for them because they're already conditioned, so they don't have to worry about conditioning.
When I realized that, I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
No,
the draft?
But in a way, Jasmine, they got to learn how to play with a whole new team.
Well, it's going to be another.
They're gonna get bullied. I ain't gonna lie. Like seeing some of those stories, like when
everybody get hazed
and all them.
Everybody get hazed.
They're going to get hazed worse though, because I feel like these girls are going to be mad.
You think you coming in
about
they grown women? They grown women.
They're gonna show we grown women.
These are women with husbands and kids.
I got something to play for. Yeah, I'm not just playing for an NIL deal. Yeah, it's different.
And we also got to talk about like this is also the girls that they were able to get endorsement deals in college where a lot of these women were not.
They make more money on NIL.
They make more money than they do in the WNBA.
That's why I say I'm scared for these highest
paid. The white lady that was hating
on Taurasi.
She makes the most at like 200 and something thousand.
It's nothing.
Caitlin and Angel, they in millions. They're up in the millions.
Yeah, but like from the WNBA, their first year they only get $75,000
their way.
Well, and that's why. And during the off season, Brittany Griner, they go to other countries to play.
They have to, yeah.
You can't pay me enough to go to no Russia. Absolutely not.
And they be doing. If I'm Brittany, I'm never leaving a country again.
I'll be like Monica. I'm going to Spain.
Right.
Now we represent love and basketball. What is wrong with this?
Because I know y'all can relate to that.
Because what I really understand it now. Like I pray that this just continues to grow, and there's expansion teams, and then
I'm sorry, they can start chopping some of these NBA checks because half of them ain't doing nothing anyway.
I agree.
I'm sorry.
Minimums and maximums in the
these
NBA
maximums,
crazy.
These maximums they getting all of this. It's time to start chopping at this.
I think like Jason contracts like what, almost 400 million.
No, the person who out here is truly still in checks is what's old boy used to play, Ben Simmons.
I was just about to say that shit.
Oh man, yeah, that's bad. That's bad.
That boy is cashing checks, but
dude, and he has played
side note
season in like 3 or 4 years.
Jalen Hurts was there.
Yeah, I did see him there.
I'm watching him.
Mandy, you'll get your head busted. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Why was he at the game?
Your head about to get busted.
Why he need to be there?
That part.
We know Dawn Stanley from Philly, and she loved him, but
Mandy, your head about to get busted. Stop stalking
he was
that
on
man.
He was.
I seen him too, but stop stalking that
He
man.
was on that little. Okay, last part. What do y'all think about the quote unquote like WNBA quote unquote hating on Caitlin, like Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird and all them making them?
Can I go first?
What they got to? They went to UConn.
I agree.
That part.
They gotta hate on her.
I'm just going to say this.
Diana 40 years old. Sit down.
What we cannot do is not give Caitlin her props for the visibility that she has brought on this sport. There are men who never would have paid attention to this sport if it was not for Caitlin.
I agree.
Do I think that they have gone too far? But it's the same. I can argue it's the same effect that they did with the Taylor Swift. anything that they feel like is going to bring them more money into whatever the situation is. They're going to push it. Caitlyn has gotten them more ratings. Ratings equals money. So anytime they can throw a picture, it's almost like what is going to make me the most money is going to be Caitlyn.
Yeah, the last time we seen this was LeBron going to the league. Like, that's insane to me. Like,
they had 17,000 people show up to the open practice for the South Carolina Iowa game. 17,000 people show up to watch practice.
Practice.
We don't talk about our game. We talk about games.
Practice, Marla.
Come on, AI.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I mean,
it's unbelievable watching this girl run down the court and shoot from the logo and make it. Like,
let's be honest.
She made it exciting. And so what I'm not going to do is, although there's been some negative situations, it's the same thing we talked about with Taylor Swift, right? Although it's not her fault these publications are pushing all this. It's not her team that's telling them to put her picture up over our South Carolina girls.
The great white hope.
It's not her fault. It's a Taylor Swift effect.
It's a great white hope phenomenon. It's the everything that's popular in the United States. I hate to put on my Dr. Umar card, but I'm about to.
Put your head on.
Everything that is popular in the United States is dominated by African American people.
Talk about
so you have a sport like basketball on both sides, women and men. It's us. It's us. Okay, we're playing it. We're dominating it. We're the best. So you have a phenomenon of a white girl from Iowa.
From Iowa, of all places, which I went to school in Iowa. For those who do not know, I met people that went to my university that have never seen anybody but a white person until they went to college. They have never seen a real me in real life.
Yeah.
Until they met me in college. That is a real thing.
A great white hope coming in this black dominated sport and doing what she did. Didn't go to a top school. Made the school a top school. Okay. Because I'm not gonna lie.
I used to go to Iowa City.
Looking back, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I ever knew about women's basketball growing up was UConn gonna win. That's just all I knew. Stanford, UConn, Tennessee. Yeah. Like those were the three. And if you knew if a girl was good at basketball, she go into the one of those three, they gonna win and they gonna keep it pushing.
So UConn was a powerhouse forever.
Man, Gino won like 11. How many he won?
She was 11? It was ridiculous. Yeah.
So for me, I get it, but my problem is putting on my Dr. Umar hat. The problem is, yes, she's great. Absolutely breaking records, doing everything that she's doing, but it's because she's white and that seemed like a phenomenon in a black dominated area that it's like
Larry Bird.
It's literally like, oh, finally.
But could we argue the same thing about, for instance, a Simone Biles? What made her?
Because that wasn't a dominatedly white sport. It's just
I felt like it was though. I mean, as far as like
Gabby Douglas was
okay, but even Gabby got tons of press because you weren't used to seeing this black girl winning all these medals.
That's true.
So I could say the same thing in the reverse
in track.
Never going.
That would
as long as our African countries are up in there, as long as our island countries are up in there.
That's how they treat it.
It barely happens for the United States.
No, but that's how they treat it. But that's how we don't win them. So, but what I'm saying is like that's what they're treating this like. This is like their great white hope. So it's like when you have white America, they're watching because they want her to beat these black girls. They want her, like the vitriol of these Iowa fans online. Like the reason why it was a big deal last year when LSU won because all the racist stuff when they played South Carolina last year.
So much racism.
Like
that's what it is.
It's just so much racism involved, and then you got them like the media doesn't help. Like when South Carolina won, CNN posted an article about the winners and had a picture of the Iowa team on the thumbnail. And so many people commented and going off on them.
They started with Baller Alert. We're gonna give Baller Alert they credit because they were the first ones to actually comment and say, "What about a picture of the actual winners?"
Thank you. Like, what are we? But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's more so of I explain this to people. I don't hate Caitlin Clark. I hate what she represents in America and to white America, and it gives them this pride of like, we're finally beating them in something. And look, you wouldn't know who Angel Reese is if you didn't know who she, like, the stuff that they say out of their mouths on Twitter, on Fox News.
Angel Reese was classless. She was all these different things. They're doing the same exact stuff.
They made her, and they overly sexualized her. There was an article when they played UCLA. They called them dirty debutantes. They said if you were rooting for LSU, you were rooting for basically anarchy and evil. And UCLA are the cookie cutter white girls you should be supporting. And they're spicy Louisiana hot sauce compared to, and it's just like it's just nothing we can do in America. You can't take race out of any. It's so hard to take race out of anything. Because if Caitlin Clark was black, people would be watching. But I don't think it would have reached this height if she was black. Because we have Maya Moore. I knew her.
She was that girl.
I knew her. We got all these up and coming black girls too. Like, I love Juju so bad. Like, I would really like, that's my girl. Like, we have all these up and coming black girls. I just feel like, yes, I'm happy that Caitlin brought the eyes because now people are staying. Because what the black commentators made a good point is that, yes, Caitlin Clark brought the eyes, but the stars kept people watching.
Yes, there you go.
They kept the attention. So it's like, you're watching to see her, but you also seeing some of the greatest basketball being played. Like, I watched the whole entire women's tournament. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, from first round to the last game, there was not one bad game. Even when South Carolina was whooping up on people by 30, it got close for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of, they started off like a
little,
and then Dawn Stanley got into that butt at halftime and they came back and beat people by 30. But like, all of these games, all of these new girls, the stars, like, I just feel like, okay, yes, we can give her props. We can give her credit. The people watch, but our girls kept them watching. They kept them. They kept them there.
Kept them entertained. They were the entertainers.
Thank you.
They were the entertainers.
She was the name, but they brought the play and the actual entertainment, because it wouldn't be no fun to watch her just run through everybody.
That's true.
It wouldn't be no fun. And I'm sorry, she lost.
I was just about to say, I'm sorry.
She lost twice. It's not the first time that she lost in the Natty. She lost last year to LSU. That's why they also don't like black teams. Because LSU just beat them last year, and now another black team beat them this year. So it's just
leaving with 0 chips.
Leaving with nothing.
0.
Sorry.
But we're going to end it with this because we are just proud of everyone. We are proud of our women in general.
Both teams played hard.
She played hard, but we are going to give our girls props.
Even
South
bigger
Carolina, y'all girls. And we can't wait to see what y'all do next year.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in for years to come, baby. I'm paying attention to who transferring. I'm paying attention to Dawn. That got another up big that's coming next year. South Carolina will be back next year. They got the same, all them young girls coming back.
My girl gonna always recruit. Like, whoever her recruiting team is, kudos to y'all.
I mean, my God.
They be working.
They be working hard.
And I have to end this by saying, Dawn gonna get up there and preach too. Because when she was crying,
uncommon favor.
I was sitting at home crying my eyes. She couldn't even talk for like 10 minutes. And I was just crying with her. And when she said, "The God I serve," I said,
because the God.
And she said, uncommon favor. I don't preach, but that would have been my sermon the next week.
Yeah, that's what somebody said.
Pastors, come on,
Pastor, I need you to write it down.
Don't get up there talking about something.
Favor. I need you to get up there. I need you to do it because That's a word. And that's all I want to
is a
say.
word.
At the end of the day,
thank you, Lord.
I love us Black women.
I love us for real.
And we just
my Monique voice.
Man, these women out here having babies and then going playing basketball games. Like,
baby, try they pregnant playing. Try having pregnant and playing.
I can't comprehend. So kudos to y'all ladies out here. And I hope that y'all get the shine that y'all deserve this year. I hope the WNBA grow because I will be participating. Might buy the league pass. It's only $34. Why not? You know, I might support my fellow sisters.
You mess around, get a courtside seat.
I'm trying. If the Atlanta Dream write me back on the email, I mean, I'm trying. They got like a ticket combination where you could choose any 5 games for like $100. I'm there.
But if you email me back. Also, think about the people that own them teams. Y'all know Michelle Williams owned a part of the Chicago team.
So really?
I didn't know
that. Asia Wilson shot her shot at Beyonce and was like, "Come buy a team, Beyonce."
Oh. And you know,
she may be like, owns a part of.
Let me see what's in my cowboy coins, real quick.
I don't know. They only sell it for like $3 million. Come on, B.
I think a couple of people own a couple of the girls' teams, but I know Michelle Williams been owning the Chicago Skyline for like a couple of years. I don't know if she still does, but I know years back she did though.
Come on.
I just love all of this.
A lot of women own those, like a lot of Black women.
Come on, Beyonce, you need a team. I agree with Asia.
Okay, but now y'all, we didn't give them. We have given the flowers. It is time for us to talk about some crazy. Because as we are giving our women flowers for being beautiful Black women, we got to talk about the issues about Potomac that we are seeing, especially as it relates to race / colorism, bullying, and just things that lying and things we just do not like to see from an
marriages.
So let's give some context to our listeners. Like we said, Potomac, really, really boring season, but we will talk about these beautiful Black women. They're also beautiful ladies. Really, really like reached a point in this season where we're like, nobody really likes each other. And so it's getting really unbearable to watch. So a lot of us have been really turned off from this season because it hasn't been fun. It's been really just like dark and just like almost kind of bullyish and just not really fun to watch.
It's like a social experiment gone wrong. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. So like we literally have like remnants from the previous season where they tried to take down once again someone's husband and really made impacts to his ways of living that kind of trickled into this. We had a girl that threw a glass drink at another girl and then everybody jumped on the girl who was attacked and blamed her for it versus the other girl. And we're seeing that, unfortunately, the light-skinned women are the ones that have been more of the antagonists and outseeing a lot of the darker-skinned women on this cast. So when the colorism word comes up, it has been alleged, the conversations don't go deep, but we're going to talk about Giselle. We're going to talk about Robin, who have been on this show since season 1 and have had some pretty not so great conversations when it comes to other cast members about the color of their skin. Race. Also, it's almost an anomaly as we talk about Giselle because she loses her father this season, who was a civil rights activist. That we also met, took us on his plantation, on their old plantation.
That was a good episode.
That turned into a museum. Really gave us rooted history into the civil rights movement and just how they're still fighting for different things. Great episode, probably one of the best episodes Giselle had because we didn't really know nothing about her. After that, nothing that deep. So
still don't.
We talked to you guys in previous episodes about like the season finale. So season finale, a big fight breaks out. We told y'all that like Candace really wasn't even the one that got into the fight, but it was about Candace with one of the girls who accused her husband of like trying to cheat on Candace with her, even though he didn't even look at her. Candace, of course, has a mouth, said a couple of words about the girl. Girl got in Candace's face, and then she actually throws a drink at Candace. everyone starts holding Candace back because they're like, girl, we don't want you to fight. But her friend ends up getting into the fight and it turns really bad. But everybody still blamed it on Candace, which is so crazy.
Ridiculous.
Again, Candace is a dark-skinned woman, and you see these light-skinned women that are not really standing up for her, except for her other friend who's dark-skinned, which is crazy. So then we get into the finale. We told y'all about Mia. Mia's kind of like, we'll talk about Mia at the very end because she really doesn't have much to do with this portion of the conversation.
She turning tricks to stay on the show, child.
I mean, that's a whole nother conversation. But we're going to dig deep into Potomac today because there was some clips in this season finale that we think are really important as Black women for us to discuss and talk about, that this cast, to Wendy's point, don't have the depth,
don't have the range
to be able to have a conversation on colorism and as viewers what we are seeing from this cast. So we'll start first. Go ahead, Jasmine, with the first clip.
Do you, just to say what it is? It is basically
Okay, so we talked about Giselle. Giselle's making comments as if her and Robin has never. Robin literally fake cries, and I'm gonna say fake cry because not a tear came out of her eye.
Oh, Jesus!
She literally fake cried about like how it really affected her that Candace called her colorist. And when I tell you the internet lit her up because there was like not a cry to be had,
but you know what?
Like, not a tear that fell.
The thing is, Candace never called any of them colorists. She even started off last reunion by saying, I don't believe no one on my cast is a colorist, but we must talk about how this could affect us or how this comes across to other people. So anyway, keep going.
So that's really important. She never called in, but they will not acknowledge that. This girl started crying. And so Jasmine has a clip of like a conversation that Robin and Giselle had with a former castmate about
Season 1.
But as we may have some listeners who are not Black and do not know what colorism is, I think it's important for us to also define what is colorism and like what does it stem from.
Look it up for you.
While she's getting the exact definition. And within the Black community, and this goes all the way back to slavery, when either you were in the house or on the field.
Period.
And that was determined by the color of your skin.
Paper bag test.
If you were of a lighter complexion, it was called the paper bag test. Paper bag test means if you were lighter than the paper bag, you were in the house. If you were darker than the paper bag, you were on the field. It was also understood that if you were on the field, your life was, everyone's life was hard as a slave. Yeah. Let's be very
in different ways.
But you were out on the field. You had a very rigorous, labor-intensive job out on the field. Was not reverenced. You got the bare minimum, not even of anything. If you were in the house, you had to tend to the family, whether that was cooking, cleaning, your housemaid, raising kids, sometimes even having Massa's kids. Because
they were raped a lot.
Also liked him, some Black women.
Yeah,
which is how we also have white lineage within our African American history. This is stuff that they don't want to talk about in Florida, but we're gonna talk about it today. So
I have the definition.
So and we'll get to the definition, but that's where the word colorism kind of starts to play, where within our own communities, light skin, there was a thing where light skinned people always felt like they were better and more could pass a little bit more as white adjacent to have it a little bit easier than a dark skinned person. And so that still today sometimes can come out in how we as a people treat each other according to the color of our skin. So we'll go into the definition, Mandy. Go ahead.
So the actual definition from the Oxford Dictionary of colorism is prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group.
So, and you're wondering, like, why does this thing keep coming up? Within the last few seasons, it has been very evident. I mean, we even call them the green-eyed bandits. Like the lighter-skinned women seem to band together and always seem to have issues ironic. I want to say ironically,
but not even just issues
with the darker skinned women, and they are kind of really mean to them in a sense of ousting them from events, treating some of the, their family, wrong, coming at them in ways that they would not come at some of their counterparts in that way.
But I think I want to add to that, because I think it's deeper than that, because they can combat that by saying, oh, well, I beef with Karen, I beef with Ashley. That's not, when we say colorism, it's how they, what is the word? It's how they describe an event with a darker skinned person. It's how they villainize a darker skinned person
aggressive.
for doing attack, mad,
me,
angry. It's, oh, it was attitude. So bad for physical assault when it was Monique. But when it's Mia, oh, she didn't assault you. She didn't. Mm-hmm. She just threw a drink.
She threw Mia's lighter skin. Exactly.
Like when they do the same thing that a darker skinned person do, it's almost like they get a pass. Mm-hmm. When Robin, to me, is the most aggressive person on this show.
Of all of them.
All of them.
I mean, season 1 threatening to fight Katie at the reunion, saying there needs to be security there, to the umbrella situation with Monique, to pulling up on Ashley at her restaurant trying to fight her. I mean, like, there's so many other like there's so many other instances where these women are so aggressive, so mean, so bullying, but they will never get those labels. They will never get that.
They don't get the same headlines.
Vitriol, because inherently a lot of people see their proximity to whiteness and they just assume that it's just a one-off thing, or it's just she's just mad that day, or they're not really aggressive. What did you do to bring it out of them? Because they're seen in this very angelic way, and that is a lot similar to racism. Of when black men will catcall a white woman, is, oh, you can't have her. What did you do? Or like, if a black woman is raped, what did you do to make him want to do that to you? It's like those type of tropes with them. It's never, oh, Mia, you was wrong. Oh my God, you should have never threw no drink through no purse and tried to fight her. It's, no, Wendy, you antagonized her. Mm-hmm. Like, you really caused her to act that way. She does not act that way. Mia is not that way. Like, it's so deep, and they don't value them. They just don't.
No. And they're the smartest ones in the room.
They just dog them out. And I don't know. Like, and it's just like, growing up, I've never had an experience with colorism. But the Midwest is very different. I will say, like, us being from the Midwest, we're very segregated. We really be with our own people.
Really just black and white.
Yeah, like, it's just really black and white. It's not really any nuance to it. Yeah, it's just,
Missouri was the last slave state to segregate. Yeah. My mom was a part of desegregation of schools, not my grandmother.
Yeah,
they still actually have that. They just don't call it deseg. But
they don't call it that. Like, the white people live here, the black people, like, we just are not used to these, like, kind of like
nuance.
I won't say like nuanced things, but like, as I get older and I see it, like, I never was in a place in my life where I looked at my skin color and thought anything like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never was like, are they treating me like this? Because I'm like growing up, I used to be darker because I was always in the sun all the time. I didn't know my real skin color until I went to college.
But if you look at our family, we are all pretty different shades,
all over the
shades, everywhere,
all over the spectrum.
So it's
and everybody can get it,
literally. So it's like we don't have that, right? You got light to light to
go up with this, but as I feel like the first time I could probably like say like colorism or anything kind of like that kind of like came into my conscious would probably be college, or even just learning about Black Greek letter organizations and like the history there. And like, there's just so much deep history with colorism. And like you said, it started off with them separating us, period, for slavery. Like, oh,
that's
you
really where it started.
It started there. Like, oh, you look more like us. You can be in the house. I could tolerate seeing you every day. But you Black, you need to go out here and be in the sun anyway. Like, and so inherently, like, from that, of course, you're gonna find resentment there. Like, and it's sad that as Black people that we have to constantly talk about this, but proximity to whiteness is a privilege.
It is.
It's just the truth. I mean,
it is.
Like even connecting it back to like sports and how people was talking about there ain't no Black people in Iowa. There's clearly a beautiful, tall, mixed girl, Hannah Skokie, but nobody is like because she's light, because she's mixed, like she don't get the Black. She has 2 puffballs playing basketball.
And as an HR person, I will tell you that there is a thing about if they do hire a Black person, a lot of times some people will say that lighter skinned people have it easier with getting jobs. Like that is something that is really sad. And I'm not saying that that's not an experience, but that is an experience.
Being racially ambiguous gets you a lot of things. Like it's so weird. And I just feel like them, quote unquote, being these educated Black women, they should be able to have this conversation. Then for Giselle to say, my dad was in the civil rights movement. I went to an HBCU and I'm an AKA.
And
your point is
all right.
You're still Black. We're not saying you're not Black. That doesn't describe you being colorist.
Like so literally,
of the right interviewer to know what to say in that moment.
Well, Wendy, I will give Wendy her 10. I will give Wendy her 10s because she shut down the conversation and explained it even to Andy where he understood. When she made the analogy about racism and how, people always are down on the fact that, oh my God, you called me racist. I can't believe you called me racist. Oh my God, I am not racist, trying to fight that they don't take the time to think.
Why are you calling me that?
What did I do?
What did I do? Or what about me led you to believe?
To believe that I'm racist. And it's the same thing with colorism. It's like, okay, what did I do to you to make you feel that I am treating you a certain way because of the color of your skin?
No, they won't even acknowledge like that anything like that ever happened.
Yeah.
Like that's their thing.
It's a
they don't even want to say that, even try to see that perspective.
I don't understand why.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was gonna say I don't understand why. Well, I guess we're leading to the same point where nobody has ever brought up the fact with Katie and how they just badgered her about
to say
her
she
race.
was Black or white.
Yes, let's lead into it. Let's go. Let's go to the clip. Let's go. Season 1, y'all.
You didn't really bring up an issue. What you did was, unfortunately, you were standing there watching everybody dance and have a good time and being judgmental, and then coming over to me and saying something that was completely ridiculous, which is that Michael's groping Andrew's butt. And then you said, is that a white thing? Yes. That's like the most ignorant. Date white men. You were married to a white man. So? Oh, I'm the expert on white people. I didn't say you were the expert. Because there's a difference. You might have a better answer than me. So there's a difference between white people and Black people and biracial people. There's a difference between Black people and white people's experiences.
I don't know what Robin's problem is, but it seems like she always needs help with it, and I really can't help her.
You really wanted to know the answer. I mean, I'm asking a white guy and ask him. Why are you asking me? You were standing there. I'm not sweating it. I really don't care. I really don't care. Okay. I really don't.
Katie has no business calling me or Robin biracial, and she knows what we are. There's nothing wrong with Katie being biracial, obviously, but to be ignorant enough to call us that is not necessary.
The reason why I said that to you guys was because I was trying to point out what it's like. You're all offended by what's said to you that I say that's kind of like, you know, inflammatory, but you said something inflammatory to me. I was showing you your hypocrisy. That's what I was trying to point out to you. That's why I said, listen, Blondie with your green eyes, why don't you like look into your own family history? Because you bring up race all the time. It's stupid. It's offensive to me that you think that I'm not a Black woman. I'm not just African American. I'm also Caucasian. I'm biracial. What the hell is wrong with that? And why do you have such a problem with it?
There's nothing wrong with that. Because that's not what you said.
That is what I said.
That's not what you said.
Well, fine.
You acted like it was a problem.
You acted like it was a problem with it.
You acted like it was a problem to be Black.
Walking away as usual.
Per usual.
Because she got that smoke. And Katie, they need to bring that Katie back. That girl was reading.
She a little too.
I know.
She get her mind together.
She running sheets to the wind. I mean, she's out there.
Several renovations.
Things have happened in life.
Yeah, she's been in life.
But let's talk about the clip, though. I will say completely inappropriate. Like they've said since day one, they felt compelled to say something to Katie about her own race when y'all got green eyes. Do your own lineage.
I just don't understand that, Marla.
You're
like
coming at her
as Creole. Girl, what do you think Creole is?
You're white.
You're white.
And what's crazy is the history of your family. You sat here and your daddy literally reclaimed the plantation, which means that it's somewhere white blood was mixed with y'all to even have these kind of
running through your veins,
and that's most of us, and that's most Black people who
I ain't gonna lie. When I first saw Robin, I thought she was white or mixed. I did.
I thought they both was mixed.
Baby, you want both of y'all rocking blonde hair. It was a good question.
I really thought Robin was mixed. Like, to be honest, like she was like Giselle. I was like, okay, Creole, whatever. But Robin, I was like,
she mixed for sure. If I didn't see
but
her kids,
but to me, it's even more about them being offended by it.
Yeah.
And so, and it stems back into this conversation of you love to be white adjacent.
Yes.
But when you are called out for it, all of a sudden you want to show that you're a Black woman. Mm-hmm. But up until these moments, when you don't really care to have that side.
Yeah. When the privileges come for it, you're
you all of a sudden,
Because I think we're also forgetting how this show was first framed.
There we go.
This show was framed as, if we want to keep it 100% a buck, they were supposed to be the classy Blacks.
They were.
The etiquette Blacks.
And yes, they were.
You
To Atlanta,
have that without
which
colorism.
was the only Black franchise on the Real Housewives. So they came out as this very exclusive, and because even if you look down to the city that they called it, because they live in DC, but they wanted to make it such of a niche, such exclusive. So they named it Real Housewives of Potomac, so we could say, like,
what is Potomac?
And we got into it because, that's exclusive. Oh, those are the rich Blacks. Oh, those are the, and the whole first season was about etiquette.
Robin out here living in Baltimore.
Living in doggone 2-bedroom apartment.
Season, they live in Baltimore. Some of them live in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So it's like they framed this show to be the antithesis of Atlanta, where Atlanta has always had beautiful brown and dark skinned women.
Oh, like, beautiful with nice houses.
I don't think, have there been like really like that many light skinned women on Atlanta?
Like, you can say Sheree.
She caramel.
You can say
the only they had a white woman.
It depends. They had Kim.
Yeah, I was say they went all the way to
it. Like Deshaun is brown. Lisa Wu.
They brown, but they were brown. Nobody looks like. I feel like it was a specific choice. It was a specific choice to cast these women.
Yeah.
In this quote unquote exclusive city that no one has heard of, and then to frame it, because I read the Real Housewives book. Okay, I read that book about, and they were very adamant about when Potomac came out. The producers told them this was going to be about etiquette and society and Jack and Jill.
And that's why it was so big on the first season.
Fight was about Giselle sitting at the wrong birthday seat at the table. Her and Karen was arguing about etiquette and that, and they framed it, and they framed them to be the upper echelon Black.
Mm-hmm. But when you talk about that, that's all that is color. That's baked into
and they cast all light-skinned women. Think about it. The original cast, the only dark-skinned one was Sharice. And they got her out of there by season 2 or 3.
Yeah, okay. Season 2.
And then they brought on Monique and Candace, and then boom, problems arrived. Then they brought on Wendy. Problems arrive.
You wonder why. You bring on these dark-skinned women who are also affluent. Let's talk about Monique and her mini houses. Let's talk about her and her not only her wealth, but what she did for communities and what so you want to talk about upper echelon? Let's talk about like how, people looked up to her. Like her whole organization looked up to her. The first thing that Giselle said when she met her,
where do you live? How many houses?
Where do you live? And she said it in a nasty way.
Yes,
and I love Monique, because Monique was like, well, I have several houses, so which one?
Which one are you talking about?
And then so it always seems like when a dark-skinned woman come in, let's go even further, Candace. So then they try to paint a narrative on Candace like she don't fit because she got money from her mama. That's generational wealth.
That's what
all of y'all don't have, and
that's
if you
what
did
it's
have
supposed
it,
to be about.
But I think we can go even deeper. Even that, the fact that you look at all of the dark-skinned women that has come on this show, they have to be so much better. Than these mediocre.
Ashley was a restaurant.
Robin was
broke. She was selling kangaroo
Ashley's
meat.
a restaurant server selling kangaroo with
Katie
her
had nothing.
Sugar
dude.
daddy.
Katie
her
had
sugar
nothing.
daddy.
Robin was
Katie
broke.
had
Giselle had nothing for real.
Robin was
Karen,
like
maybe.
Let's talk about it. They hated Sharice too because Sharice had a champagne room.
Yeah,
baby said, "I'm gonna just renovate a champagne room."
That's what I'm saying.
I
think that's even colorism. I think that's even a definition of colorism. Fact that to make it into this group as a dark skinned woman, you have to be so much better than them to even get a peek into their circle when these women are losers.
When you said
and I don't even want to be your friend.
When you said social experiment, that's what this is, and it feels like this is what production was trying to do. This seems intentional by production.
Yes.
So then it makes me think, okay, when you say who's colorist, is Candace referring to production being colorist?
I think so.
Yes, because they protect her. And also think about the dark-skinned women who are on the show. All of them are married.
Yep.
All of them have supportive husbands.
Yes.
All of them have had money, either generational or money that they've created themselves. Whereas we look at Robin, Giselle,
miserable,
Ashley.
Giselle got cheated on from her pastor, and she's showing us this ugly house that's still being renovated and ain't cute.
Miserable.
She got a new man
Robin
every
who
season.
remarried the man who cheated on her, and he still cheating on her in headlines. We got Ashley, who can't even say Darby's name on camera because he's still affording her lifestyle,
and then
pretty much got her like
every night.
She ain't leaving. She ain't leaving.
Listen, this is what y'all are bringing.
Off the show just for that.
Yep.
Wendy's husband can fund all of her endeavors that
they
even fail.
$2 million in 6 months of sales.
That man wrote her a check on the spot.
$50,000. Oh, you over on your budget, babe?
Here. I got it. We got it.
That's a real housewife. And the ones that y'all are keeping, we're going to get to that. But like,
they have no storyline.
Colorism is all
colorism is so
it's
evident
just,
on this show. And so now we're going to lead into why we're talking about even further. We get wind that we're like, finally, they're going to do something about this Giselle and Robin situation because they're the meanest girls of all of them. And they are rooted in colorism. I don't care what they say. Okay. I don't care if it offends them.
Oh, wait. I don't think we ever talked about this. There is a theory.
Okay.
With Robin.
Oh, we got to talk about it. I wanted to bring it up.
The theory with Robin and Gabrielle Union.
Not even just Gabrielle Union. Every woman that he cheated
on
with the first time was dark-skinned women.
Yes, I did hear
about
that.
Gabrielle Union was one of the
Hold on.
Allegedly signed. Allegedly.
Throw it up. And I'm pretty sure if we looked into Jamal Bryant's congregation of women down here in the Atlantis.
Yes,
that he's been.
Well, I heard he didn't discriminate. His was all over the spectrum.
Well, that's even worse. She don't even know where to aim at.
Swinging, but okay.
I don't think he discriminated.
She don't even know where to aim at. So for me, it's just like I think a lot of the colorism roots from past experiences with people. I think they feel less than.
Talking about when they was kids, all kind of
I think they feel less than. I think that.
Wendy is multiple degrees. Come on there, call me Dr. Wendy. Y'all had a problem with even calling her doctor. Like she has to explain to you why her degrees requires you to call her doctor. Now, borderline wanted her to show the documentation.
Literally,
she still was like, "I ain't calling you that. Why not? Why won't you give this black woman her accolades for what she has done?" Whether
I mean, we could go further. NECA is quote unquote a lawyer. We ain't getting none of no lawyer in this season.
because she's too busy trying to be on their coattail so she can come
it's
back
okay.
and it works.
It's okay. They gonna teach her something. They gonna
turn on her as the only dark woman on there. They gonna turn on her. They ain't got no darts now, but she gonna be a dart.
I feel like it's even a deeper conversation because we have Real Housewives of Atlanta. They've never had no colorism issue. I'm like, I'm just really thinking back and looking.
That's what I'm saying. This is production's doing.
They've never had no colorism issues, no racism.
No, nothing.
And what makes me so mad is the two girls that I thought had no problems with getting a contract to come back next season are the ones that are gone, which are
Candace.
Candace is taking a pause, but for all we know, she could have got wind that she was going to get some exit papers, and so she leaped and jumped and said, "I'm gonna take a pause."
I think they try to set her up.
Their excuse for Wendy is, well, now Wendy ain't got no friends on the show, so it don't make sense for her to come back.
In the midst of that argument that they were having at the reunion, when she
did quit, she quit. She did say, "I'm done." That was her quit. Yeah. Oh, you didn't catch that? In the middle of them arguing, Candace was like, "Yeah, I'm done." She did say that.
I'm done. I think in that moment she realized I'm not coming back.
Yeah,
I said it last time on the podcast. I will say it again. If you are willing to go low enough to accuse my husband of something, but then say you didn't really accuse him of it, but you actually did, that tells me that you are willing to go to the depths of hell because you don't like me.
So let's go to clip 2. Let's go to clip 2 because now we gotta get Giselle in her life. Let's talk about like how she keeps changing her story about Chris.
See that it would take everything out of me not to be physical with a woman at that point.
Honestly,
over my husband, yes.
Can we ask this? Am I making this up? He asked me to go.
I'm not making this up.
That made me feel uncomfortable.
She said, "Are you referring to the interview or confessional where she said the word made me go?"
Yes.
If I'm misquoting, please correct me.
In an interview bite, you said,
"No, I didn't."
Made me.
You
the
did.
producers
Yes,
are telling me that you did.
Candace, last year I told you your husband made me feel uncomfortable because he made me go into a bedroom and close the door. That is what happened.
So what about all the things that she tweets about me? Consequences.
But now
your
we
actions.
If Giselle holds herself accountable, what are you willing to hold yourself accountable for?
I can hold myself accountable for the response.
Accountability inspires.
It does.
Accountability.
It does. So if I said I didn't know what was happening or made, no. He asked me. He didn't make me. He asked me.
Can you accept that, Candace?
Girl, where you come from?
I want to
It always takes somebody. Someone always has to make a move.
And Ashley would get punched
I understand that you were upset by my choice of words in referring to you.
I sit up here with your privileged, white-looking ass, and you think you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, and no one is going to bat an eyelash.
Wait. I should not have used those words to describe you.
I wouldn't apologize.
Your children have dealt with death.
Not
She was trying to take responsibility.
This is colorism.
The death threats, because we have all received them at the hands of things that each of us have said. But I am sorry that that was happening to you.
Okay, progress. Okay, it's a starting point.
But she don't have to say sorry.
So this is my
So
thing.
that's colorism. You don't have to say sorry though.
But you don't have to say that. You sit here and say it's because no, Giselle.
We're still not talking about the fact that this has literally caused their marriage pain, her husband to lose his job, for anybody working with him to be scared to even hire him as a chef, alleging
and he was a private chef, so that's even worse.
Yeah, that kind of connotation. Like, what are we saying, Giselle? And even then, you're still doubling down, and you're wrong. Like,
you're wrong. You can't even apologize. You can't even say I was wrong for saying that because it was incorrect.
You know, the only thing that gives me saving grace when it comes to this, I just think about their lives and how miserable they are. And I just be like, her and Robin, Ashley.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, like a few months ago online, some woman was accusing Chris of saying that they had sex and that she was pregnant and he told her to get an abortion and all this stuff. And then of course that turned out not to be true.
They still was talking about
Robin
like
and Giselle, they still was like, well, why would she lie?
Not Giselle, Robin.
That was
Robin.
crazy.
Listen, and then we moving on. Hold on, we finna move on for a minute.
Cause girl,
let's talk about Robin.
Because who cannot tell me about my man?
You.
Let's talk about your man. Ain't even got no check coming in right now, and couldn't even show up for you for this reunion.
Now y'all both don't got
again.
One.
So knowing that this reunion was going to be about him allegedly cheating on you, he still left you for the birds and they had nothing to do. He probably sitting on the couch eating Cheetos and living his best life, or I don't know, texting another female for all we know.
He's absolutely
because clearly he's not into you, Robin, because he's made it very clear.
He's not even at the house.
Right. For all we know, he's still texting the girl in Canada. We don't know.
But Robin still at the laundromat, okay?
At the nail shop.
Right.
All the excuses of things that you have said that is so bizarre that you believe them. Literally. You have some audacity to be the one to question Chris Bassett on camera on this reunion about him cheating. Baby girl. Maybe anybody else, but
it would have gave Jocelyn and Stevie J at that reunion. It would have gave, babe, we just finna whoop. We just finna just get up and get the going.
If I was Candace, it would have been whoa. Words to my man, because where's yours? Amen.
Exactly. Yours ain't even sitting behind you.
Next question.
Candace should have got dirty there.
So you
know,
I would have went in
who
her.
is talking when her man didn't even think of her enough to even come to the show and defend him for cheating?
This is why Atlanta will always be queen. Because Atlanta would never play these games. Like the games that these Potomac women play with each other, Atlanta would never. The way that they all read each other so down at reunions and in Atlanta, like that's what I'm trying to understand. It's like you can. I don't care what.
But Karen is good. I ain't gonna lie. They ain't a question that they give Karen.
I would give her
that she don't read.
But it's no
she
fun.
Hit Robin like this.
But it's no fun. It's like how Carlos will talk about like on the newer seasons of like Atlanta. Like you don't have nobody to spar with. That's how I feel with Karen. Like. Karen,
they ain't got nobody good to give
nobody can go back at her. Like when she said, you can't remember how many people you had sex with. She said, no, Robin, that would be one.
Shut it down. Done. Okay.
Immediately.
Next question, Andy. Like,
and all Robin can say, no, yeah, that could be, like,
or the whole when Candace and Giselle and Robin going back and forth, Giselle thinks a go back is, oh, here she is calling that. She's calling that. That's not a comeback. That's not a reason. That's not none of that.
Not a reason.
That's like these girls could never be Atlanta.
Off.
Oh my God.
Get them. And the best one is leaving. The reason why Candace is so reckless with her mouth is because they ain't giving her nothing.
They can't give her nothing.
They're not giving her intellectual property because her and Candace and Karen get along. So
they never got into it that deep.
Or if Candace and Wendy wasn't friends, I think they would give it to each other.
I do.
They would give it to each other.
Yeah.
And that would be good. That's nice nasty all day.
Nobody else can read on a show, and that's why it's like when the earlier seasons when the girls was trying to crown Real Housewives of Potomac as like the best. I was like, have y'all watched Atlanta? And the thing that's missing, and I say it again and all again, is a common respect, courtesy, and friendship. In Atlanta, they all beefed, but let somebody from the outside come in. That scene when that girl tried to tell everybody that Ty was with Candy for to come up and they all clowned her in her face.
Yes.
They weren't even all getting along. But it's the fact that you're not going to bring an outsider in here and expect to cause some drama. But on Potomac, you got people bringing a Deborah and a Cookie Monster and the other lady and the
fighting folk and dragging
throwing bottles, calling people Happy Eddie and with the unibrow on, like, what are we?
But see, they have to do that because if you don't, then people are going to focus on what you got going on. Ashley, not getting divorced, you still messing with your husband. You live
not
in a
messing
house.
with the man got her in a chokehold because she failed miserably at getting that money and rolling out. She is
2 kids for nothing. Sorry to them babies. But you
ain't no storyline with Ashley.
Because
they
had them babies for nothing. Because remember when she first popped out the 2 kids, we like, oh, remember that was in her prenup. She popped out 2 kids and stayed for 5 years. He put something in that mug that nulled and voided that. So you had them babies.
Baby, once he paid for that house, that was his way of shutting her up. You want these payments paid, then you better not talk about me on this show. You better only say good things about me, and I am never filming again. Period.
They'll get her money from. That man still paying her money or something? Jamal paying her child support or alimony?
Yeah, I mean, she still has. She
got 2 kids under 18.
Got 2 kids.
Because I always wondered, like, where's she getting this money from?
She's
never worked a day in her life.
Giselle could never be Nene, because if Nene knew Kim husband was cheating on her, they friends, but she gonna know what's good for the show. She gonna bring it out. She not gonna cover it up.
Period.
Thank you.
She gonna be like, not Kim, big pop.
She let Robin. She tried to. I will say they tried it with that little intervention they had at the beginning.
But they knew that
was only after they got dragged, Jasmine.
They had to do that.
They had to do that. But I'm saying that's why I say she tried in quotation. She tried.
But Shay, you bring up a really good point, because Nene did a lot of things for the betterment of the show.
Yes.
She used to kind of patch up beef with Kenya for a second.
Just to get on a ride.
You know, and it wasn't no Dr. Heavenly style do it for the show where it was obvious. But she will really, like, at the end of the day, she knew I'm the glue. I'm the star. But we got supporting cast members and everybody is needed. And we all got to figure out some type of common thread.
Could this go into our
There's
next
no
clip?
common thread. There's no common thread in Potomac. None. Not one.
Yeah, let's go to the next clip, because I think
this shows how trash Giselle is as a human being.
Lord have mercy.
And then we're gonna talk about them comments.
Chris in an effort to protect Juan.
I do. Yes.
No way.
I think that she knew
Giving me sorority girl.
that by talking about my business, it would keep her business under the table.
We are in the here and now.
Yep.
What do you need from Robin to move forward? And I want to ask you the same question.
I don't have any tissue.
I do.
Oh, not tears.
Giselle.
That's all you got.
I do.
Fuck you.
Come on.
Fuck you. Tears.
Okay, come on.
Tears. Them fake tears be coming.
Okay.
You don't need to be a mean girl. Stop.
Okay.
I mean, and I want to say,
Hold on. I just want to hear from her, and then I want to hear from you. I'm trying to.
Okay.
Tears.
That was kind of mean.
You're so frustrated.
Kind of mean girl. She's a
it's
fucking
not a good look, babe. Stop.
Okay.
I'm not mad.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at Candace at all. If Candace would have jumped across stage and punched her, I wouldn't have been mad about that either.
But that's a clear
They
example
would
why
have
the show
blamed it
cannot move
on
on, though.
her.
I know why she did.
Candace responds to or does at this moment. I don't blame her for walking away. No matter what happens, they're going to paint her as the villain and the bad person.
Yeah.
You can say for whatever reasons, but we know it seems like the little light-skinned, green-eyed bandits can't do no wrong, even when they are doing wrong. Even Andy said that was so mean, and she kept going. And
But
then
you know what?
Gonna go into tears because she called me a colorist. But
You know what I
literally are
think?
seeing your friend sit over here.
Dog her out.
I think the real tea here, this is antics because Giselle woke up when she came to that reunion.
Yes, baby.
Oh, I'm sitting next to Karen,
And
I'm not
that
first
girl.
chair.
Yep.
I gotta turn it up.
I was on the line.
Turn it
People
up.
said I would never not be in this first chair.
Yep.
Oh, I have to do something. Because
Turn
let
it
her
up.
have been in first chair. She wouldn't have even looked at Candace or
Paid her
Wendy.
dust. She did
She
the
just
rest of the
said
season.
nothing. She would've did
Like she did
just
the
like
rest of the
last
season.
season. Like, so I just feel like it's all for show. It's all for
It's
play.
performative.
I'm
All of it.
just-
I do think we need to talk about one thing that I'm sure the audience is going to be like, y'all didn't talk about this. So Giselle, do you feel like Giselle had a right to feel some kind of way about Wendy and Candace having a reaction to her? Hold on, let me get it out. Talk about her daughter. And so for our viewers, so there was a scene where I forgot where they went on a trip. But Giselle started talking about like her daughter getting ready to go to college. She was going to FAMU. And so the cast starts talking about like, are you concerned? Because we also know, given this climate, the political climate of Florida for a Black person, is that really the best place for her to be going? Like, do you have some concerns? So she starts talking, and, you know, Candace and Wendy look at each other and they make a face. And so she really blew it up and was like, how dare you make a face when I'm talking about my daughter? Like, Robin was the one that really, really tried to hype it up.
When Robin was the one that disinvited Wendy's kids to a whole
let's
event.
Talk about it.
Get to it. Get
what
to
are
it.
we talking about?
Get to it.
What are we talking
history.
about?
Get to it. Get to
Robin making a big fuss out of that when you literally told everybody, I don't like the mama, forget her kids can't come.
Oh, Candace can bring the
kids.
Candace.
Oh, Candace, you could go get the kids and bring the kids. That's not your kids to my event.
Otherwise, they can't come.
Revisionist history.
I agree with Candace.
None of these women.
I agree with Candace. She be weaponizing them girls.
She
do. Girl, nobody care about. Girl,
again, you said my husband basically accused him of being a creepy creeper, and all of that was okay. But then I allegedly made a face about your daughter.
He has children.
He has children, right? Just
talked about Monique's child's paternity.
Yes.
This the same people we talking
about.
Made
that a whole storyline.
Tried to make that a huge storyline.
But
about
you mad at somebody saying yo going and they rolled their eyes? If you don't get on my face.
But again, the problem is no one holds them accountable. Like the way that we are bringing all this up, like they don't get the edits. They don't get the like that's something that production to me would have brought up all of these things, and they would have told Andy, bring this up, bring this up, bring that up.
Well,
so
but
they can talk about it.
Didn't Candace or was it Wendy and Candace agreed with her that they asked about her daughter? Was she going to be an AKA? Was she going to be this? Was she going to be that?
And they allegedly didn't have the audio.
Yeah, they didn't have the audio.
No,
or the
let's
video.
be clear. Giselle says she don't remember that conversation.
Right, because it didn't happen.
It never happened. And the production didn't get it. It didn't happen.
She also just didn't remember the whole thing with Chris and her saying
that
he made her go to the room.
Yeah, like
she is a liar. I have never seen Candace or Wendy lie. So I'm going to go with you.
I know for a fact, as an AKA myself, even if I'm beefing with you, I hear your daughter going to an HBCU. The first thing I'm gonna say is, are you excited about her potentially? Like, you're gonna bring that up. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
but
that's
this is
the
a
first
point
thing I'm thinking
that doesn't get mentioned on the show that Wendy and
Giselle
are sisters, sorority sisters. So this even goes more into my theory of she's a colorist.
Because they talk about it with Giselle, but they do not talk about it with Wendy.
That's your sister.
They don't even let Wendy mention she's a
historically. That is a problem. So
in our sorority,
so
I know for a fact you know about it because Giselle was back at an HBCU in those days where
Giselle gives me very much. She gives me very much. What is that? Jigaboo and the girls off.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite movies. School Days.
She gives me very much. It's all of that for me.
Because there are older sorors that felt like you shouldn't. She's not on the same level as me.
Okay. So with that, we are going to go into some of the comments. So there was we're going to talk about Carlos too, but Carlos and Heavenly had a podcast episode that came out this week.
Hilarious.
And it was actually specifically talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, and I actually thought it was
whenever Heavenly not talking about Married to Medicine, I be agreeing with her.
Yeah, it was really good commentary.
But anything else, I
love
it.
They keep me telling all their business and just adding on her 2 cents and doing too much.
That part.
Yeah.
So within it, if you haven't listened to it, you can probably listen on both of their podcasts because they both have a podcast. But I listened to the one for Carlos King.
Same thing.
And so they got to a point to where like they were talking about Giselle real deep. And if you know Carlos, he is a Giselle fan. He loves Giselle, as he called her, Kobe Bryant. Like he named her as one of the best housewives on his on his podcast, like as a top
5.
Like,
I think she was top 5.
I think she was like 7. I don't want to give her top 5. I think he
Was
gave her
she?
7.
No, I think she
The
was
fact
top 5.
she was top 10 is a problem for me.
I
But
think
okay.
she was
She
top
wasn't his top
10.
10.
I don't
Let
know
me
if she
look
was
it
top
up.
5.
She should've
But
been that.
he talks. He loves Giselle, and so. But I will give him this. Within this season, he has said that something needs to shift, and Giselle needs to figure it out and like get it together, or else he don't think the network will ever put her
She
on
was
the
number
chopping
9.
block.
She was number
Thank
9.
you, because I'll be listening hard. Okay,
She should be number 12.
She was top 10. So
20.
So then they got to what, because this was a live podcast.
Mhm.
So they asked in the comments, like, do y'all think Giselle is mean? And the people
lit her up.
Lit her up. When I say it got to the point where Carlos said, okay, Heavenly, you can stop reading it now.
Stop.
And she kept going. And she was like,
I should have pulled that clip.
She kept, I mean, there was not one person that said anything kind about her, except for I think she's needed for the show, but she definitely needs to figure this out.
Is she needed? Well, what does she bring? What does she bring?
Nothing.
I don't know, but everybody was like, and Carlos, don't you stuff her down our face.
Oh,
like
they was
going in about Giselle. And then they said, well, Heavenly was like, well, people can say the same thing about me. That I mean, they was like, nah, Heavenly,
not that type of me. You just rude. No, like she's evil. They said like, Giselle is evil.
They said Giselle is evil. Like she literally tries to
ruin people's lives.
People's lives. Like this is the perception of her.
At the reunion, she said, I've been the same forever. So imagine her as a first lady.
Boy.
Like
as a Pentecostal first lady on top of that.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine her being my line sister, my profile. I couldn't imagine her.
She said she's been the same this entire time. I've never
maybe
changed
as a first lady, this whole little inner circle, like you got to do things to be in my inner circle kind of vibe. That's where she gets it from. But we ain't gonna go that far.
She used to be being catered to.
She used to being catered to, and people like being
quiet. But let's be honest, was she a first lady that long?
She was there for a while.
She was a first lady for a while.
For a minute.
It was a while.
Yes.
He cheated on her once. He cheated on her multiple times.
I thought they got
was
pregnant quick and she had the babies, and then he cheated it and she was gone. I thought it was like a 4-year
He is older than her.
He cheated, like you said, cheater, pumpkin eater. Okay,
I'm gonna Google how long they were married. Actually,
yeah, I need to look into that too, because
remember, like a few seasons ago, the daddy was caught on the hot mic talking about all them illegitimate kids.
Yep.
And then she was like, I'm not going to talk about that.
Exactly. I'm just at a point. So this is where we're going to kind of like just kind of shift as we're talking about this. Next season, we are all on the thing of like, so they put up, I don't know if
they
you
were married
have
from 02 to 09.
Yeah,
7 years. That's a long time in first lady time.
For me to be cheating like that, that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time, and that's like I'm hearing rumors, and then finally they're starting to give me evidence. So I guess I do gotta.
I gotta bounce
about it, or maybe maybe a bishop can kind of help us get.
Did y'all hear the whole sync thing was about her going crazy after Jamal leaving her, and she had to go into like a psych ward almost because she almost lost her mind?
I believe it.
Mm-hmm. Is that what Karen said?
Allegedly.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That was Sing's thing.
Karen needs to be worried about her DUI right now.
That was actually a deep cut. That was a deep cut. I actually got that from her. That was a deep cut.
She told her she was a broken whore from Hampton University. I was like, my God.
Yeah. She
I
said
love
you ran
Karen.
through.
Yeah, I don't know. We have spent a lot of time talking about Giselle because it really is a problem.
Wait, side note, do y'all remember when she had that fake storyline of them getting back together?
Yes. Oh, remember? No, that was the best season.
That was
the best reunion.
Yeah,
that was the binder.
That's binder
with the binder.
I'll never forget that.
He live in New York.
She was like, "Is this her number? Is this his phone number?" And she said, "To this day, I would have lied."
But they said
I'd have been like, I don't know nobody's phone number by heart.
They said allegedly when the cameras went down, Giselle broke out crying and had a whole fit, like she couldn't even like recover.
Of course she did.
I bet I would have too, because I would have said, "Girl, I don't know who number that is. Got to be fake."
They said when that happened, she lost it.
Because nobody had ever came at her like that.
Where is that footage? I would, if I was somebody that didn't like her like that, I would have been like this.
She must know. She must know Andy's sexual partners.
Nah, she messing with the man on the cutting room floor because ain't no way all this stuff just be not going into it. Because
how is she not the villain? That's what I don't get out of
it. But you know they always keep the villains. They keep Teresa, they keep Kenya, they keep the villains. But they kept Ramona for 30 million years. I mean, my God.
They keep running
Vicky Galveston.
But when do you say this is unhealthy for the show? Like y'all can't even progress in the show because she's so evil.
Not even so evil.
She's still mad at Wendy. She's still mad at Wendy because Wendy checked her and went off on her 2-3 seasons ago about her man. She's still mad about that.
Yeah.
She has no real reason to be mad at Candace for real.
Yeah.
If you really think about it. She just mad.
And neither does Robin. But that's what made me mad. That's what made me bad about.
What do you
Candace
mean, man?
crying.
She got a husband that love her, take care of her, supports her. Neither
Robin,
one of them got that.
If you leave Juan alone because he already told you he don't like you and he can't wait to get away from you, you probably will be happy by
yourself. A season that
in
like
front
he was
of cameras
only there for
to
the
producers. Yes,
to the producers.
That's why I'm feeling. I don't feel no way.
That's what Robin could never. Robin could never say anything to me about a man, a wedding, a relationship.
Money. You know how much reading I would do on Robin. I would make her not want to talk at the reunion at all.
I make her want to fight me.
Things that I would say to her, like y'all are
them sexual picture comments. Enough would have been like, girl, and we see Juan strong and ready all the time.
I would have been like, oh, you saw them pics. Oh, the pics that what happened to the pics that you so happy don't seem to know nothing about that everybody else has seen about your husband? What's her name, Robin?
That's the frustrating thing about Robin.
That's your cousin. That's who is she? Because I mean, if you looking at my pictures, you had to see his.
He called that lady beautiful.
That's the thing. That is the thing. So we supposed to believe my husband's alleged pictures, but not believe yours.
Yeah, well, he got more.
Exactly. He got more. And then you come talk about he loves to erase his phone. What are you talking about, Robin?
But you sitting her trying to check somebody for somebody that done retracted the story, put the story back, said she lied again.
Even Andy was like, girl.
But you go for this.
Even Mia said that doesn't sound credible.
Gordon said it.
Somebody over that couch.
Gordon, like, can we trust her?
Like,
can we trust you,
that girl? Like,
as you sit by yourself, as your husband leave you in the blank again.
Your husband deletes text messages all the time. Why? And you sitting here having the nerve to talk to me?
He just have a thing about his phone being clean. Yeah, because that's what cheating men do. What do we? Cheating man 101. Keep the phone clean.
Stupid.
Like,
he had no reason. For the first time to not come to the reunion.
Yeah.
No reason. He's not in basketball. He ain't recruiting. He ain't doing nothing.
Out of all the years.
He's volunteering on your son's basketball
hate his wife.
Volunteering.
He hate his wife. Period.
He do.
Even Gordon there, bro.
Gordon talking to the new boyfriend before we didn't even got to Mia yet. Hold on. We didn't even got to Mia. Gordon is so crazy to me. He over here talking about some what's up,
man.
Link?
Hey, Ink, how you doing, man?
Hey, man.
He literally said, how you doing, man?
What?
Like, yep, she looks good. She looks good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What? Mm-hmm. Are you? I can't wait to hear more about this storyline because there's some stuff that we don't at this point.
I don't even want to know.
I don't.
Whatever this is, I don't want to know.
It's so outlandish. I don't even want to know what that type of lifestyle looks like.
I want to know.
I don't.
I want to know.
I think they both. Everything. I think they both about to get up there. I think they both about to get up there and lie.
Yeah, because I don't want to know.
I don't want to know much. I don't know what he lying about. He be trying to.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
I think they both about to.
I don't want to know his kinks. I don't want to know her kinks. I don't want to know what he wanted her to do.
Me about to say she took a doctorate degree and decided not to. Like, I don't know what.
I'm over it. That boy Ink ain't making no money. I don't care.
That boy broke.
The gag is he probably was helping her get the money from Gordon, and now Gordon ain't got no money, and she taking care of him.
It's given that he a pimp.
He
a pimp. That's what it's giving.
I ain't saying.
It's giving Gordon. It was given running amok. It was given running.
Yes,
it was.
It's like you get our coin. You get our coin, Mia.
Go get our money.
Okay.
I don't have much to say about Mia. I just know that girl a liar. She's telling me I went through IUI, so I know that's that man, baby. Okay, which one is it? So if you went through IUI, how could that man possibly think that's his kid? Mia
be lying.
Mia be
well, let's talk
lying.
about it, y'all. So we gonna
what
end
we
it
gotta
with
talk
this.
about? Yeah,
we gonna end it with this. So the new alleged cast. We were trying to see if we had a picture.
Okay, let's get through
the new alleged cast is drum roll. Giselle. I just got to pause just by saying Giselle.
We knew she would. I know she's not getting fired. She's never getting fired.
Not this year. Yeah.
She know what her bodies is buried.
Mia.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Nneka.
Bye.
No sense.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
if they fire Anne Marie, she need to be fired too.
I'm sorry, and she talked to her husband crazy. Did y'all hear her talking to that man?
Bro, that girl is disrespectful to that man. He be so nice to her, and she shut up before
you enter with wine. That what? I don't like wine either, but why he catch a string?
They in the doctor's office. She going off at why are you in your scrubs? Like, anyway,
I do think there's more to learn about her, but I don't think she should have had a seat before Wendy.
No, she needs to be a friend of, if anything.
If that.
Well,
can we get rid of Eeyore? Can we get rid of Sharice?
Hold on, we're gonna talk about Karen. Karen's coming back.
That's my girl.
They definitely want her to come back to talk about this DUI.
Just like Shannon. All right, Shannon. Talk about it. This they face the music season, boy.
It is.
Okay. And I think the other one they showed a picture of was Ashley.
Yeah, they said she on the fence.
Well, but they need Ashley. They need Ashley because she starts the mess. She has no problem being the one to be the bone collector and bringing it to the people. And
I know it's some crazy women up there in them DMV streets we can find.
I want to see really big women. I'm sick of these mediocre, non-money having women.
But they did have money, and the ones that were there, they're not coming back is the problem. Candace still has a whole storyline, and out of all of them, she was
have an unpopular
opinion.
I do have an unpopular opinion about Candace. I'm not upset she's leaving. I don't think that she has a storyline. Her music
between her
I don't want to see that though. This not making a band. And two, the baby, she's never having a baby. She don't want a child with that man. Like, come on, let's be real. She giving Quad when Quad was going back and forth about I'm gonna have his baby. She's not having that man baby.
Hey, man,
because she already talked about. Remember her. And when she was getting married, like
her daddy
whole issue with her daddy and
her mama would
brother.
kill her and take all the money away.
Yeah, like she got a whole brother.
There's no storyline. I think her story Ashley's story has closed. Robin's story. Honestly, Robin's story closed last season with them getting married. They could have ended that story right then and there. It could have been snapped. She could have been snapped, skip and jump.
No, they tried to see if she could actually had it in her.
Maintain.
They tried. They thought it was a big scandal. They thought it was gonna be scandal
and kill this season, and she did.
That girl told us in her opening monologue, "I do not care."
Yeah,
okay, that is exactly what she said.
What do you want me to do? Yell at him? Scream at him? What do you want me to do?
I'm gonna be honest. There is no storylines left but Mia. That's the only storyline. There's no storyline
to build, and that's what we should build from.
I love Wendy, but Wendy's storyline is I'm stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna talk about the mama
bleaching her skin and a new business?
What new business?
Which one?
Every business she closes.
Which one?
She have a new business every season. It was
she explained why, but still.
Ongi. Then she tried to do the home thing with the Ongi. That's gone. Okay, the show is up right now. It's gonna be gone by next season.
Dang, man.
She don't keep businesses.
Shots
she don't.
The show to me seems more true to her in her profession.
It don't to me. Because I'm going to be honest. I've never been a Wendy fan. I've always thought Wendy was pretentious.
I can agree with that.
I never was a fan. Wendy has not changed. To be honest with you, there's probably nobody on this cast I actually genuinely like but Karen Huger.
Going?
Oh, God. The girl a commentator.
She said she a commentator and she not qualified to have her own show.
Think about it.
Deep.
None of the girls are likable.
She throws something on the wall and it don't stick. And that's why I was so team Karen with that candle thing. Like, baby, your candle's gonna be here today, gone tomorrow. My stuff in Bloomingdale's. We not gonna compare. We not finna sit here and compare these wicks. And she tried.
She said, "I got a 3-wick candle."
Oh,
okay, Bath and Body Works.
I remember Wendy's first season. I could not stand her. She was very pretentious. Them wigs was bad.
Yeah,
hold up, though. Her body is banging. We not finna do that.
She looked great. She got her body done. That was her storyline. I respected how she stood up for her man. I like the way she looked. Everything else,
I think it goes into production for me because I feel like these women do have stuff going on, but they pick and choose what they want to show.
Agreed.
Because think about
Beverly have nothing going on.
Think about Beverly Hills, and we think about Christina, whatever her name. That girl run a whole coconut water.
They just don't like her. She's boring. Let's be honest.
They don't even show her company.
Who is Christina?
Crystal.
Crystal. See, I don't know her name. Like she
is a snooze fest.
No, she's a snooze fest. But what I'm saying is, she actually owns a successful business. They don't show that.
But I also
what you want them to do to go to the factories?
Well, that's the point. We're missing the point of Housewives. Housewives wasn't about these businesses. Housewives wasn't about none of that. We just wanted to see some mess. Yeah. We want to see y'all going to these lunches and vacations and dinners.
Well, guess what, man? They keep giving us women that got to work. So I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. We're missing the whole recipe here.
Keep giving us these women that
don't care about your business.
They got these
Bethany
kids,
Frankel and Candy ruined it. Bethany and Candy came in here with this business. Now these girls coming on her to get a business. Okay.
Well, but now though, so they got this Bravo.
All to leave their husbands afterwards.
They got a Bravo clause. So if you promote your business,
they
on
get a percentage.
Show, Bravo gets a cut.
Yep.
Of your business.
Yep.
Yeah,
and that all happened because of Bethany Frankel.
And Candy sat there and ran a checkup every season, came out with new business and promoted for free.
I'm over it. I want some petty. I honestly, Toya and all her friends sitting down at the manor. I would have.
You also can't forget Lisa Vanderpump. She was also a working woman.
My girl, I love Lisa.
Promoted.
But she still had the mess. She still had the dinners. She had the parties. She brought the girls
the dinners at her restaurant.
That's what I like. She still brought I'm the only one that's really working, but
she
I'm still rich
outside her house.
I'm about to say, but she gave me like rich.
She got real money though.
Opulent. Like these girls, like I'm not gonna lie. Like
I'm sorry, nobody just got money for real, except for Sharice. And her house wasn't even that spectacular when I seen it, honestly. And I was
we still thought about Atlanta, guys. Like this is the problem in general. We keep going back to this with like they have changed what the standard Real Housewives should be, and until they go back to the original, like I'm gonna keep going back to Beverly Hills. Stumped me that first season.
Yeah,
I couldn't understand. I kept rewinding. Because when they put all 4 nannies on the screen, and said, I go on every vacation, every trip. I'm the one that do the nights. This will do the. I want to see that again. I want to see
OG Atlanta. I want to see having a party and not inviting Nene.
But that's not even wealth. I'm talking about wealth.
Deshaun had wealth.
Yeah, she was the only one because she had a house manager. I'm talking about the wealth of what's her name from Kelsey Grammer, who was sitting here like,
Marla, but you giving an outlier. That was the whole point of Beverly Hills. It was the outlier, Marla.
Yeah, they were real money.
The point. Yeah, you were missing the point. You can't compare nothing to Beverly Hills, Marla. Like that was the whole point of Beverly. The rest of the girls were Real Housewives.
My issue with Potomac is that's like close to DC, Chocolate City, used to be. Like it's so many women up there that has status, that has money, that political ties. Like I want to.
You can't be on a show with that. You can't be on a show with that.
Remember when they did this season of Real Housewives of DC?
It's coming on. It's coming on Peacock in the middle of this month. I've never seen it.
Got some good stuff coming wait to watch it. I can't wait to see that.
They're putting it on. It got shut down because somebody lied about being invited to the White House, and they had the Bravo cameras in there, and they were not invited and got kicked out.
This is why Potomac we can't. Yeah, this is why we can't have no people politically because of this.
The White House like a sit dinner or something.
A sit dinner and acted like they were invited. Had Bravo cameras there.
It was like a whole congressional hearing about it.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So that's why DC was one and done. So I've never seen the actual season because I was too young, but I read about it. So I cannot wait to watch it. I think it comes on the 15th.
Okay, well, we need to do something. They can do something better than these. That's better. They can do something better than these women we watching that all need jobs and all getting borderline on getting STEMI checks and everything.
They all need jobs. They all need a job to pay.
I really want to watch bored women. Yes. I really want to watch rich, bored women that don't got nothing to do
and argue with each other.
That just wake up one day and tell their husband, "Yeah, I'm finna just go play tennis, babe. That's all I'm doing today."
You got Giselle over here in this renter center house.
Man, like, what are we doing? These women out here struggling for checks. Out here throwing stuff against the wall. Robin out here a glow 360. What is a glow 360?
Baby, she said she gonna get that skin together.
What happened to the hats?
She gotta do something because
the Alibaba hat she was selling, throwing a label on it. Girl, get my face.
That's what I'm saying. I never felt a
Robin
way about
shouldn't have stepped foot on Potomac. She came on broke and told her she was broke.
But she was Giselle's sidekick, and they felt like she was needed to give her a sidekick. And so
I only like two women on the show.
Robin has always been Robin,
Karen, and I've
like
only
Batman and Robin.
Monique. Like totally like them, the only two women
Monique.
I ever liked.
Only
two women I ever liked.
The show should have been surrounded around Monique because she was
nothing but Monique's. It should have been a bunch of Monique. Like that's the type of housewife I want to see.
Right. They should have used her to cast.
That's a valid point because it's in Potomac, but
nobody lives in Potomac but
not
her.
The Redskins. What they called now? The Commanders. They ain't got no football wives that could be on the show.
That's what I'm saying.
They should have cast it around her. They should have asked her.
The Nationals, like baseball wives.
Should have been
somebody have organizations. Somebody owns some organizations. Somebody owns something. Some charitable place like
FedEx is there. We are talking about no executive wives.
That's what I'm saying. It's so much.
That's why I want them to start back going to them small niche cities where don't nobody know nothing about, because them women be having a certain type of life. Like go in the middle of America somewhere. Yes, Real Housewives of Memphis. You ain't got nothing to do but be bored.
And go to Dillon's.
Gonna be scary. Memphis
go to Dillon's.
Scary.
Man, and go to Dillon's. That's all they do. I want to see that.
Bro, I wish they would pop up in that raggedy Dillard's. I would be so hot
at Dillard's.
Girl, them women that used to shop at
I would be so hot if I look at my TV and I'm looking at that 1990s decor Dillard's. I'm gonna be so mad.
I could have sold a show, y'all. Y'all don't understand. These women would be bored in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. Come in my department with some running gear on. Ain't ran nowhere, y'all. Promise you. Ain't ran nowhere.
I love
it. Said, my kids are coming home with their girlfriends. I don't really like the girlfriends, but we're just gonna refresh the whole house. I need like 5 whole bedrooms.
What does that mean? Like bed spreads?
No, the whole shit. They were the new stamps, the pillows. They were getting dishware. They were getting napkins. They were getting crystal.
We need a new mixer because she already seen the black one. We did a
it was so many older married couples coming in the store just spending money. Like, I want to see that.
It's giving Real Housewives of Frontenac.
Yes, Shay. Yes.
I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see that.
Look,
I want to see women
we
arguing
need to talk about
Dylan's bedroom. I want to see that.
Some of these private
you know I buy J Queen. Why would you buy J? Like I want to see that.
Now you see my whole house is made.
You want the housewife? Shay said she wasn't what it's like. You see, she's trying to throw a bigger party than the one that I threw for my girl's birthday party last week. Well, I'm gonna show her. My son's birthday comes up next month, and we're going bigger than what they did.
I'm telling you,
and they just start giving us figures at the bottom of the screen.
No, that is the truth. That is the truth when it comes to these birthday parties for these private schools.
Yeah.
Jimmy rented an amusement park. So I'm going to do a custom.
I'm going to bring the zoo to my backyard. Yeah, we have a free zoo, but I'm buying the giraffe. Like, I'm trying to see.
How much is Lil Wayne for a day?
I want to see Delusion.
Me and Rihanna talking about some. I gotta do a whole concert for a day, but I'm about to make millions.
They can go somewhere in Kentucky where the people be at the Kentucky Derby, wherever's around there.
Okay, so they can go to Louisville.
Would be good.
Louisville, where they be rich and be going to the derbies and
Louisville is
country.
Louisville is country, but it's like people got money.
Need a Midwest. We do need a Midwest Housewives. You're right.
Because that's where the national, where the Masters are.
I will watch it.
And people are so like old money there. It is crazy. And
we need some more Southern Midwest.
Like you can't even like Sutton be saying, like you can't even like buy into it with your new money. Now it's got to be like old family money to get in the Masters.
Sutton would be a perfect person to introduce that though. Sutton would be a perfect person.
Last name? Can you get in her based off your last name?
But you get one girl that's in from new.
That new money that's trying to get up in there and that first storyline, and then see which of the old money finally link up. Bro, like it's so much.
Bravo, call us.
Call us, Bravo. Speaking of BravoCon, we know it isn't until 2025.
They said this year.
But by then,
too many lawsuits.
We tied up in too much litigation.
We gotta pay Nene. Portia got a new contract. Now she gotta go to scripted. We just spent our money.
Everybody suing. Bethany trying to sue us. Everybody trying to sue.
All the season's been pretty. This season's
what's
been
that girl
big.
name? Raquel or Rachel?
Rachel, Faith,
Rachel suing.
I just feel like we're missing niche shows. Like I was on TikTok and they was playing, like they had clips of the old Mob Wives. Like something just
I used to love Mob Wives.
Like they was really in their life.
Mob Wives was a problem.
They was really in their life.
Problem.
They was really in their life.
Her name was what? Karen.
People was really
Drita. That was my Drita. Was my girl. I love me some Drita.
Karen, get up. When she walked in that reunion, didn't say nothing but Karen, get up.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. That's what these reunions missing. Somebody need to get touched. I don't know.
They mad at Karen because her daddy was a snitch. Like
literally mad at Renee because her husband snitched. And I watched the interview. She did an interview. Do you know she couldn't tell the real story? But all them watches that her husband was buying her, he had wires put in them. Had her on wire. She found out so much. All the jewelry she took, because she randomly, like, once he went away, she had to sell all the jewelry. She took him to her jewelry. Her jewelry, like, do you know all this jewelry have like wires in it? Like he was an informant. Like he had her and the son, everybody informant, and didn't even know. Had wires in her. Girl, we need that back.
That's VH1. That's vintage VH1 for you right there.
Vintage. But we're gonna end here. So y'all, Potomac got some work to do. I don't know if I'll be watching next season.
I'm done.
We're tapped out. Sorry, girl.
I cannot, as a Black woman, keep dealing with the same scenario of these.
Why am I triggered watching the show? I shouldn't be triggered watching the show.
It's not even fun no more. Like I'm literally fuming.
Yes. Like I text y'all, like, are y'all watching this? Because I'm about to go crazy right now.
Another one, I'm borderline. Jersey coming back, and next month I'm borderline. I might not.
I'm gonna start it. And
we'll see how the season starts.
I might not, y'all. If I see one Teresa, Melissa,
I don't think it's gonna be about them. It seems like it's gonna be about a lot of other issues.
Okay. I read an article where Andy said basically it's not gonna be that.
It's not about
they can move on without that now. Like they found.
But see, Teresa is another Robin. She know her husband ain't no good, and he's all these different things. But she like, oh well.
No, I think that's what the season is going to talk about, y'all.
Okay, I might be.
Unfortunately, they about to expose the mess out of
Louis.
Don't care.
Hey, click me back in. I ain't even watching.
Yeah, like it's going to get to the point where they showed a scene where I think she was crying because she was starting to realize like some of the stuff that he really was doing behind her back.
Oh, I'm too
with her money.
Forgive me, guys.
I think this is
if they do that, I'll watch.
It's a tune-in for sure. Like it's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out about him.
You shouldn't be watching them Italian girls. You be too emotional about them. I don't think you should be watching them.
Oh, he said you'd be too emotional.
Man, that Melissa and Teresa stuff used to eat me up for real, man.
I stopped watching because
they used to really eat me up. Like I didn't like it.
I stopped watching because
that was all Teresa. I mean. Anyways, we can go into that.
Sorry, y'all. We trying to wrap up. Sorry, y'all.
We are, and so we end with this. Carlos,
you're done.
Get on A side and not just the side that you
I'm gonna
sit
say
in
it to
front
his
of.
face. I'm gonna see him on April 22nd.
Carlos, we love you. I'm gonna start by saying this: we love you.
I don't know.
We listen to you.
We
all listen
faithfully.
to him.
Just
We
like
listen
Joe
to
Budden.
you.
I treat him like Joe Budden now. I treat
We
him like
listen
Joe
to
Budden. I
you.
don't love you,
But
but I'll
here's
listen.
the issues that we're having, and I think it took my girl from Married to Medicine, Mariah Huck, that says, and she
You
read
love all
you
the
very, you love all the girls, and it's coming off like you just asking anybody who will do an interview to come sit with you, even
like
after
this
you be
chick right
dragging
here.
people.
Oh man.
Yes.
Giving her a spotlight to down
like her.
Garcelle. Bye.
Why,
He don't like Garcelle,
Carlos? Why?
He hate Garcelle.
And she
like,
wasn't even a real storyline.
Oh,
the girl barely
that's
got
why.
time.
Anybody that hate Garcelle, and I think it's because he done asked Garcelle for 30 million interviews, and she's not thirsty to go on there, and she says no, so he's offended. Yeah, so he just goes on a hate train about her.
But he loved her during the season, or was I tripping?
He
No,
did.
no,
I thought he did like that.
He talked bad about her every chance
he said
got.
that her and Sutton ain't real friends.
Yep, all that. He think the only real friends are the fakest ones. I just you want to tell me the Fox Sports 5 real, and then man, bye.
It's your show because I just watched Ashley at Savage Fenty talking about this is one of her favorite stores. She's at the regular mall.
I just watched
Pick
that
your own
scene.
shows. Pick your own shows. Stay off of these.
Scene. I did.
You over here got Joy and Ashley fighting for the past.
Did you see what Joy had on at that birthday party?
Pick your wardrobe department. That was ridiculous.
It was even naked. It was given she got that at like Rainbow.
Like she showed them a picture of Mugler bodysuit and said, "I can't afford it."
Replica.
Throw something together, put some rhinestones on it. We rocking.
Exactly what she did. Naked.
Just naked. No, I think DC gonna get canceled anyway. So
I think
so too.
After this season,
I think they're canceled.
I don't know how it.
I just don't understand how Ashley and Joy go from like literally beefing, like physically fighting each other.
I hate your husband, but I'm cool. I would never be cool with somebody.
How do you hate?
You can't hate my husband cool with me.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
That's not a world that can be.
It's editing. Everything comes back to editing because now all of a sudden you force feeding us this. Ashley is lonely. Her man is not there. The last episode, we could have been focused on this
all season.
It's supposed to be about love and marriage.
No, because we've been sitting here for the past whole season over happened 2 years ago now or whatever. Girl,
this happened in 2022.
War has happened.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
So, Chops, work on your shows.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So that wraps us up today. Really big deep dive into Potomac. We want to hear, do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Are y'all watching next season? We also got one more episode of the reunion coming out on Sunday.
I don't even
this will air after that, just so you guys know.
Very, very cool.
So this may be, a little after that. So we'll make sure in our next podcast we'll hit that last reunion episode.
Early.
But yeah, we're just
think it's gonna be about nothing, to be honest with you.
It's not. Where they gonna say he got a health problem?
That's all I got from it. I think
he's gonna admit the paternity is his. He gonna admit the paternity and say, I got a paternity test.
Let's be honest, Gordon and that boy look just alike. We don't know who that little boy look like. Keep it at that.
Yeah.
If you said you
were crazy to do this
on national TV.
That's it.
I know, on national
Nothing
TV.
else to talk about.
This is terrible, but okay. All right, y'all. So that concludes our episode. We'll see y'all again later. Bye.
Bye.
Deuces.